Hey guys, welcome back. Orbomb here, bringing you another episode of our PTCGO live content videos. Now today we got a battle of the VMAXs here. I'm actually really excited. These are two decks I feel like I personally have severely underestimated in my head, but after testing with them, they turned out to be a lot better than I thought. We got, to the left, we got John, as always, one of my good friends, one of my best testing partners, and he's going to be playing Snorlax V, with Snorlax VMAX, so Gigantamax Snorlax, with a welder engine, and also playing Cinchinos. This is actually a really cool deck. I actually go and actually I don't go whatever. I have a deck profile. I remember I recorded the deck profile. It was really short because I didn't have time to record it, so it's like less than 10 minutes. So oh my god, I'm uploading a less than 10-minute video. It's crazy. But Snorlax VMAX is actually pretty crazy. It has everything you need in the deck. You got draw support in your Cinchinos, you got energy acceleration in your welders, you got a big HP, tanky Pokemon in your Snorlax VMAX, and you got a really good attacker in your Snorlax VMAX as well. It's actually super strong. To the right, you got me, hello, Orba, nice to meet you, playing Lapras VMAX. Gigantamax Lapras this is actually really cool as well. Of course, you're playing it with Frostmoth to accelerate a bunch of energies onto this thing to try to reach Okos. I will say one thing though, to the left, John, we are not playing muscle pads, whatever they're called. Buff padding, I think is the name of the card. We're not playing those right now. We wanted to try it without them first because I couldn't really find space for them the way I wanted to. After testing, we actually did decide to make a few changes, but like not in this video. In the future video, we'll be putting in the buff paddings. So keep that in mind. And of course, to the right, in the deck profile, I showcased there are 2 Dedennes in this deck. In the right, there's only 1 Dedenne. I forget what I took out for it, but there's only 1 Dedenne at the moment. But this deck, the Lapras deck, definitely wants 2 Dedennes. But anyways, before we get into the video, which we're already into the video, you can see him doing Fiery Flint and attaching and whatnot. Don't forget to drop a like if you have not already. Subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Join the Discord, as my buddy Gumball always wants me to say. Let's see. What else should I say? I didn't get down any Frostmoth, any Snoms, so he felt pretty comfortable not having to worry about me getting down Snoms that turn, and he just made this thing active. He knows I can't OHKO him by any means, but we're going to go ahead and draw. Now, this deck is really cool. I'm actually playing 4 research and also 2 clay in this deck, just essentially being like 6 researches. This deck is super strong with 4 energy retrievals and being able to accelerate a bunch of energies. It becomes a really, really powerful deck. I'm very happy with it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should talk about before we continue on with the video, but here you are. Here's me doing Jirachi shenanigans. There isn't actually too much about this deck. It's very straightforward. It's just accelerate a bunch of energies onto your things. Now, the cool thing about this deck is that by getting 9 energies on a Lapras VMAX, I can get the OHKO. 9 energies is a lot of energies. We are playing 13 basic water and 2 weak guards. We are weak to lightning, so the weak guards are there for Pikarom and for Morpeko, which are 2 I think are pretty 2 strong decks. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you guys want to see the deck profiles early, join the Patreon. And also, Merry Christmas. I believe I'm recording this on Christmas Day, which means you guys are getting it the following day. So I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas, if you guys celebrate. My family's out. I'm home alone. I'm just recording some content for you guys. It's pretty exciting. But yeah, also, if you guys want a chance to win any of these codes for Sword and Shield whenever they get released, as well as a booster box, don't forget to answer comment question today, which is going to be, which of these 2 VMAX Pokemon do you prefer? Snorlax VMAX, Gigantamax Snorlax, or Gigantamax Lapras? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, we got 2 Snoms down, 2 Laprases down, and a Jirachi, so we have an ideal bench right now. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Of course, I don't want to lose any of my bench Pokemon. So we're going to go ahead and do this here. Now, the idea that I had originally for my Lapras deck, and it's kind of doing the same thing with Gigantamax Snorlax. Actually, Gigantamax is like the whole bulky healing shenanigans. Snorlax was playing 3 Malolana, but we're not playing any of the other healing cards. I found that they're kind of unnecessary. You just kind of switch between the 2 of them with Malolana. You can avoid most 2 KOs. While with Lapras, I'm not sure if I like the healing option, because you generally have to go through your deck really quickly if you're going to be beating these types of decks, these really high HP Gigantamax decks, VMAX decks, whatever you want to call them. And because you're running through your deck with things like Juniper and Clay and Dedenne and stuff like that, you don't really have time to find and use a Malolana. But here he is, Cinchino with the trades coming at it. Also, Cinchino's attack does do 40 damage and accelerates an energy from the discard pile to one of his bench Pokemon. So it's actually pretty strong. It's a pretty cool card. Giant Hearth. We are playing things like Marshadow to avoid things like Chaotic Spell and whatnot. But yeah, I don't think the healing option is as good, but I want to test it against other decks to see if playing the Malalanas is still worth it. It's just really hard to preserve the Malalanas in this deck when you're trying to set up your dudes. Fire Crystal, also he plays Ninetales, and Ninetales is a busted card, so he's going to go ahead and knock out the, or most likely knock out the Volcanion. Volcanion is kind of a threat because I do get to push things back and take knockouts in case I can't reach them versus Snorlax. This is a 2-hit KO war for him, and for me it's reaching for Okos, right? Also ignore the break. We're playing the break as a proxy Ninetales because I don't own a Ninetales apparently. Excuse me. But anyways, let's see. He's continuing to set up. He got the VMAX. He can take a knockout here. He does hit 210. So here's Snorlax VMAX. If you guys don't know, it does. It has 340 HP. If you play the buff padding, you get a massive 390. But we're not playing the buff padding right now. Although the next build will have the buff padding in it. But 390 HP, it does 60 damage plus 30 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon. So in standard, you hit a max of 310 if you're not counting any sort of buffs. Which is really strong. Super good. It's solid 2-hit KOs. 310 already OHKOs a lot of things. And then like 2-hit KOs, tag teams. Actually 2-hit KOs, tag teams through Malolana most of the time. And I think it 2-hit KOs all the Gigantamax Pokemon unless they play Malolana, I think. Yeah, if they play Malolana, I don't think you get the 2-hit KO. I think so, right? Right? Because it becomes 90, and then 90 plus 210 is 280. So no VMAX Pokemon gets knocked out, but I think all the V Pokemon get knocked out. So it's really, really strong, really powerful attacker. We got our Frostmoths here. Frostmoths are benched Rain Dance. You can attach as many water energies from your hand to your benched water Pokemon. It can't be the active and it can't be a non-water type. It has to be a water type, but incredibly strong for getting a bunch of energies on the board. I see a lot of decks in Japan play Quagsire. I don't know how I feel about the Quagsire. Like, you generally play the Quagsire to move the energies between the two and you shouldn't, that way you're not forced to play switches. But because I'm playing Jirachi, I'm actually really happy just playing 3. I think this deck plays 3 switches and 2 Malalanas. I honestly want to go up to 4 switches. I don't feel the need to play the Quagsire since I have so many switching options in this deck. Also, Quagsire helps in case you want to accelerate the energies to a different attacker, but there's not many other attackers that I feel like need to be used, you know what I mean? Like, you already get those OHKOs with Lapras, maybe some like decent colorless attackers, but I don't know of any amazing colorless attackers. Maybe, what's it called? Mega Lopunny Jigglypuff is good if Pikarom becomes more popular since it did just win that big Japanese tournament, but even like Pikarom was playing less GXs, like they're not playing Zero-Aura anymore, and they're playing a lower count of Dedenne. I think the one that won only played 1 Dedenne. So they're less worried about Mega Lopunny now, which is pretty good, for sure. Here I'm deciding what I want to do. I can reach for the 2-hit KO first, hitting him from 180. He can always just gust up something, so I think attacking is the right play. I'm going to go ahead but here I'm just going to take my knockout while I can, and then use the Dedenne. Because I decided, yeah, just taking a knockout is fine here. I can reach to OHKO the Gigantamax Lapras. We are playing 2 normal rods, which shuffle 2 energies back into the deck, and 2 Pokemon, but we don't have to worry about that part because we can choose. And then we have 4 energy retrievals, which can get up to 2 energies into your hand. So we can get a lot of energies into our hand out of nowhere, not to mention just drawing them straight up is really strong. Oh, I remember. I took out the Keldeo because I didn't find the Keldeo to be useful in this deck. That's what it was. I played Keldeo GX in there, but I ended up taking it out. We're going to go ahead and take an OHKO here. Like, all we really need to do is reach for the OHKO against Snorlax. Now, the one downside I do find about Lapras VMAX is how difficult it is to play custom catchers. So I took them out completely. I do want to put in Pokemon catchers in this deck. I currently don't have them in, but once again, you are reaching for OHKOs so often between like searching for your energies, getting energy retrieval, stuff like that. I just find that the custom catchers aren't useful, like aren't really that great. I mean, you can generally OHKO anything you want in front of you. So I don't know, this doesn't seem that great to me. That's why I took them out. Pokemon catcher seems like a good option though. Just to have like that, it's a flip for sure, so it's not as strong, but it's still pretty good. So as you can see, so right now I talked about this more in the deck profile. The Snorlax deck right now has 2 Cinchinos down, 1 Ninetales down, and 2 VMAXs down. That's kind of like ideal, right? You generally want to keep 1 bench space open for a Dedenne or a Marshadow or anything else you might want to play down your bench, so you want this bench for sure. So he has a really good ideal bench. I'm playing a 4-4 line Cinchino, but you can very easily cut that down to a 3-3 line because of how you don't. He's gonna take an Oko here if he puts down a Pokemon. Thanks to Ninetales. Ninetales is just busted. That's another reason why this deck is so strong, is how busted Ninetales is. You can cut down to a 3-3 line of Cinchino, but then again, I do like the consistency of having the 4-4 line. Not to mention, more Pokemon is good just so you can fill up your bench more often. So he's going to go and take a knockout here. So he's in a really good position. I really need to reach for an Oko here if I'm going to win this game. Because I just... yeah, at this point, I had to reach for the Oko last turn, right? If I could have Oko'd the Snorlax, then he wouldn't have had it. He wouldn't have had it on the bench, but I did unfortunately miss it. So I just had to go for the knockout on the Dene. So here, I think I have to reach for the Oko. But even if I do reach for the Oko, all he needs to do is play Ninetales and he wins the game. So I don't think I'll be able to stamp him. I might have lost my stamp by now. I don't know. Maybe I didn't lose my stamp by now. I don't actually remember this game. Then I'm going to grab that quick ball, though, and use it. As you can see, I have a bunch of energy retrievals in my hand, so I can get some energies back. Then I'm going to use that quick ball to get rid of that Lana's fishing rod. Or, I keep saying Lana. It's just called normal rod, I believe. Let's see, using that quick ball, try to thin the deck as much as I can, because I'm going to go ahead and dig here in a second. There's not the Dene, a Jirachi down, and energy retrieval, get those energies back and start attaching energies. So we really need to get 9 energies on this thing. 9 energies is actually not that difficult. Of course, the weak guard's energies don't count, but getting 9 energies is not as bad. Let's see if we get it though, because we have so many energy retrievals, and we can just draw into a bunch of energies as well. We have 4 right now. I would need to get 5 energies right now. And let's see what happens. I don't think I have it because I didn't do it very quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and use another Dedenne. Oh, I remember this game. Yo, okay, I remember. My deck is mostly energies right now. There is 9 cards left in my deck. 3 of them are item cards. That's why I put down those Jirachis, right? Because I was going to get all the item cards out of my deck. Every card out of my deck, right? I just needed to draw the majority of my deck. There's only 3 items in that deck. And I drew all 3 items in that hand. I remember now. That was a game where I was just like, oh, that's so frustrating. Because there was literally only 3 items left in my deck. That was it. And then I drew 4 energies, 3 items. So I was actually just 1 energy short from taking the knockout there, which is very upsetting, actually. But he's gonna go and take a knockout here. He wasn't able to gust. That's what I thought would happen. That's why I wanted to attack that turn, because we can go and do that instead. Yeah, there's nothing but energies left in my deck. I can tell you that much right now. I remember, but the 2 weak guards are in there too, so I need to draw actually 5 waters. And I remember I drew this fishing rod for sure. We're gonna go ahead and do this because I am gonna go ahead and Juniper again to reach for the Oko here. And I think I'll get it now. There's 3. There's the weak guard, yeah. So I remember I drew 3 water energies and a weak guard and my last 3 trainer cards in the deck. So here we go. Gonna go ahead and attach the last energies that I need because my deck is literally only energy cards. And then I did just shuffle back in 2 Pokemon so I wouldn't deck out. We're gonna go and take a knockout here, and of course if he has Ninetales, he just top decks the Fire Crystal. So he wasn't able to use Ninetales last turn, so I was like, maybe I can win this game right here. All he needs to do is not be able to use Ninetales again, but he did top deck the Fire Crystal, which is like whatever because he does have access to trade. So it's not like I'm the most surprised in the world that he managed to get it. I knew that once I whiffed it last turn, it was very unlikely that I'll win. Even if I got it last turn, I was unlikely that I would win because he would have to not get Ninetales 2 turns in a row. But he didn't get it last turn. So if I didn't whiff last turn with that horrible luck, like literally a 9-card deck. I remember it was just like a scarring memory. I was like, how could I whiff so bad? How could I draw literally every trainer? Anyways, enough of that though. It's not a big deal. It just goes to show like how I really want a second Dedenne. This is the moment where I was just like, I should play 2 Dedennes in this deck. If I had a second Dedenne, I could have run through the rest of my deck or not run through the majority of my deck, right? Because I knew I had a Lana's Fishing Rod in the. I keep saying Lana's Fishing. I knew I had a normal rod in the deck, right? So it could have run through the entirety of my deck, as well as shuffle back in cards so I wouldn't deck out and then win in 2 turns. That's why I wanted that second Dedenne instead of playing down that second Jirachi. But here, I believe, oh yeah, I'm going first because I lost. Okay, cool. All right, Cinccino lead. Or is it Minccino, right? It's Minccino, then evolves into Cinccino. Minccino doesn't have any crazy attacks. Its first attack lets you look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and its second attack does 20 damage plus 10 more damage for each heads. No manual attachments, nothing too crazy going on this turn. So good for us. We get to evolve immediately, and we get to evolve the active one immediately. I'm only evolving so quickly because he could just get an Oko next turn. We have 210 HP while Snorlax has 220. Since we have 210, he can just take a knockout with the Snorlax, with the VMAX Snorlax, as long as he has 3 energies, which is easy. Welder manual attachment, really easy for my opponent to do. So my opponent didn't do much. I figured he had a lot of supporters in his hand. Looking at his hand now, that's not the case. But you know, he has access to trade, and that's what matters. Gonna go ahead and do that. Let's start playing things down. I want a Snom here, ideally. I didn't get one last turn. Another reason why I want a second Dene, so I can get them more often, so I can get those turn 1 Snoms as often as possible. But I find that like you don't really need turn 1 Snoms, especially if you're going first, right? You can just generally attach and pass until you get there. But we got the quick ball, so we're good. We are good. Trying to decide what to get rid of. There's a Maulana. And here we go. Let it begin. There's a Snom down. Anything else? I would like to have 2 Snoms down, only because he has access to Ninetales, so he can always do it next turn. But I have an extra turn to do it, right? I want to always make sure there's a Snom or a Frostmoth on my bench, because he can always target one down, and that can mess me up. So having 2 Laprases down and 2 Frostmoths down just feels like really safe. I'm going to shuffle my prizes here since we just did knock them over. There's the VMAX. And he's going to toss away one of his Ninetales, draw 2 cards, get another Cinccino. But he already has one on the board, so he's going to discard this 1 and 2. There's a Vulpix, so that's really good for him. I'm going to attach and just pass, which is good for me. It gives me a time to set up. He did whiff Welders. The power of Welder decks, right? You either get them all the time or you never find them. But it's fine. It's okay. Because he still has plenty of time to tank. We get to try to go for our 2 KO. I'm debating if what I want to do here. So I don't know if attacking right now is the best idea or not. I get the 2 KO, and he could always heal. I think I'm just gonna, I'm gonna clay first. Look at all my options. Let me look at the top 7 cards in my deck, take all the trainers, and discard the supporters and the energy, which is good, right? You want to discard the energy because you can use energy retrieval to get them back, and you'll never whiff your energy retrievals when you're playing clay. I mean, you won't never whiff. I'm saying that you won't lose them. You won't have to discard them, right? And then it gets you quick balls, Evo Incense. It's pretty good. You get the fishing rod, so in case you discard Pokemon, then you can use the fishing rod to put them back in the deck. Things like that. Just overall pretty good. Gonna switch here, so I'm glad I played that clay first, so I can use Ninetales, or Jirachi. Draw, see if there's anything worth getting. Quick ball for that second Snom, and I think I'll get it next turn. I should probably get it this turn, but we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna go and lose the research. Probably have another one in my hand. We'll go ahead and get that second Snom down. Oh, Dene. Okay, never mind. We'll get the second Snom later. Let's get the Dene now first. We'll try to reach as hard as I can just to get energies on the board. Fishing rod to put the energy back so we can draw into it later. No Pokemon in discard pile, so we're pretty good there. Alright, let's see. The Dene to draw a few more cards. See if we get a Snom. Yes, we do. Pretty nice. And we get a bunch of energies as well, so that's pretty good. Weak card just to manually attach just to get rid of it. And am I going to put it down, or do I just generally not want to put it down? There it is. Okay, I'm about to say, it's weird that I don't want to put it down. So is this knockout? I don't think this is knockout. Is it? It's a lot of damage, that's for sure. I'm trying to avoid the Maulana healing. That's what I'm trying to do. 61, 21, 80. 261, 21, 80. 240 damage. So even if he Maulanas me, I'm still able to take a knockout on him. So that's good. This is good because if he Maulanas and switches, he's safe again. I'm trying to avoid him from being safe. Because he doesn't have a second one down, he can't threaten me with the second one. This is actually a pretty good play. Once again, I do want to win this game as quickly as possible since he's not as set up. But he actually is still in a really good position. Like he has Ninetales. He can just knock out whatever he wants. He can always go for the Frostmoth in case he thinks I'm going to whiff the next one. He can go for the 2 KO here, of course. Of course, he does lose one in the process. He needs to get down to the Snorlax. But if he goes for the 2 KO here, he's still in a pretty good position, right? because most of my energies will be gone. But luckily, I haven't lost any energy retrievals yet, so this is a pretty good. Like we're both in. Like he's obviously not in the best position because he's like a turn behind. But I'm gonna find position here as well. He's not in a bad position either. I don't know why I keep saying the word position. Let's see. Let's grab this. Boom. All right, cool. So sorry, I'm just texting some people because it's Christmas. I gotta say Merry Christmas to all my friends. And Merry Christmas to you guys too. You guys, don't worry. You guys are all my friends as well. No worries there. All right, so we took the knockout. So we got our 3 prizes. He has an incense, so we can start using Ninetales shenanigans. Oh, never mind. He's gonna get Snorlax, of course. Of course. Let's see here. There it is. All right. Now he just needs Welder into fire energies, so he can attack and take a knockout. He does have the crystals, so he's good there. He just really needs to dig for that Welder for sure. He's gonna lose most of his crystals here though. If he doesn't find it, and it looks like he whiffed it. He does have the Ninetales, so we can evolve into the Ninetales, but whiffing the Welder here sucks, bro. He's only played 1 so far. There's 3 more left in the deck. He does have access to the Juniper too, or not Juniper. I keep saying Juniper. He does have access to the Professor Research, which he didn't find that either. So he's actually having just a rough time at it. I play the Research so that your early game's a lot better, since you actually don't need to play that many Welders when you play this game. Because like you only need to we welder once to set up a Pokemon, right? So maybe you welder like twice, 3 times a game at most, but most likely you only want to welder twice a game. Let's see, there's the Dene though. Let's see if he gets that welder. The Dene lose all of his cards. So he did lose, I think, all of his 3 fire crystals now. There's a welder. Did he draw 7? No, he drew 6. Okay, cool. Yeah, there is a welder, so he's able to attack this turn. He's in a pretty good position here. And go ahead and take a knockout. So now my goal is to try to Oko this dude. Because if I don't Oko this dude, I'm in a bad position. That's for sure. All he has to do is take 2 more knockouts, hit me 2 more times, and he wins. So I have 2 turns to try to Oko this man. So we're going to do that right now. That's the game plan. We have, like I said, we have all of our energy retrievals in the deck. We still have a few energies left in the deck. And we can draw a bunch now too. Because we haven't played a research or anything. We have access to Jirachi, things like that. So let's see. Incense fail, which means the Frostmoth is probably prized, or in hand, one or the other. I think it's prized though. Debating what I want to play here. Okay, there's 1 energy retrieval. So we have 4 energies because we don't count the weak guard, because the weak guard doesn't increase our damage output. So we just need 5 more energies when we take a knockout here. Honestly, if he were to play dumbbells, he would only need to play. I think we would only need 1 more energy, right? Because 390, we hit for 90, right? So to hit 390, we need 10 energies because that's 300. So yeah, we would only need 1 extra energy to take knockout. So I don't think the dumbbells would affect this matchup too much. Obviously 1 energy is a difference because last game we were 1 energy short. So 1 energy could be a major difference. But I think in all of our games, I don't think dumbbells ever comes into play if he were to play it. Getting a Mew down just to thin the deck some more. Because we want to get energy retrieval because I think a retrieval here wins us the game. Let's see. We have 4 on the active right now. I think we haven't manually attached it either. We have an energy in hand, I believe. I'm gonna grab 4 energies because I have 2 energy retrievals. There's our manual attachment, so that's 5 water energies. Here's 4 more, so that's 9. And Lapras coming through, being able to hit 3. How much is that anyway? It's 9, 18, 27 plus. That's what is that? 27. That's what is that? 36. We're able to hit 360. 7, 8, 9. Yeah. We have 9 energies. That is an Oko right there. Boom, bam. That is 360, right? 9, 18, 27. 27 plus 9 is, okay, 3 hit for 360 damage. So if we had 1 more water energy, it would be 390, as you can see. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of a tad bit ridiculous that Lapras can hit all of that from literally only having, I believe, 1 energy on it. I think all I had was 1 weak guard energy, and we managed to put 9 energies on it in 1 turn. That's absurd. I think, oh yeah, ignore all this. This is whenever we were preparing to play the next game, so I had to use the Malalanas. Ignore this. Ignore the Psyduck Slurduck. I'm not playing that. That's proxies from like a few months ago. Or yeah, that's proxies from a few months ago. We are not playing Psyduck Snorlax, I promise you. Even though the deck would be fun to play, we'll save that for TCGO. Here we're just preparing for game 3. So before we get into game 3, don't forget to drop a like if you have not already. Support me. I was trying to go for 7,500 subscribers before the end of the year, right? Because like I started the year with 5,000, and I try to go for 50% increases in sub growth. Just generally, everyone wants a goal, right? 50%. I generally don't care about the goals, but this year has been doing pretty well for me with the content. Like less than the sub goals going up. My views gone up pretty well as well. My consistent views have gone up pretty well, which is nice. But we were short because the YouTube did the whole like sub purging thing, and then Kappa did a thing, and all of a sudden, and then like of course school kept me a lot busier. I didn't upload nearly as much this year, but it's all good, right? You guys are still here, and that's what I appreciate. Anyways, we're preparing for game 3. I don't remember who goes first in this game. I think John goes first, but I might have gone first because, as you can see, this is a different recording day. So, who knows who's going first? And it would be me. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do some things. We got a Jirachi down, but we don't have a Snom down. And I think that's just a pass, yeah. So no way for me to switch into Jirachi to try to find a Snom turn 1. That would have been ideal. Unfortunately, it's not the most necessary thing in the world. Oh, I don't think I've ever mentioned Snorlax V's attacks. I probably had the cards up on screen at some point. Maybe not. I don't actually remember. But if you guys don't know, I'm gonna leave the link to all the translations on PokeBeach in the description as usual, in case you guys ever want to look up which cards do what. The translations for every card that was released in the Sword and Shield set in Japan is going to be there for you. But Snorlax does 60 damage and then heals damage. For 3 energies, does 60 damage and heals damage equal to the amount of energies, equal to the amount of damage that you did to it. So obviously if you boost it up with like ADP or something, you can heal like 90 or 100 with a fine band or something like that. And then for 4 energies, it does 170 and then it goes to sleep. Put yourself to sleep, boy. Alright, let's see. So he's got a Vulpix down, so honestly pretty good. Just getting down Vulpix early is really good. The table shakes every time we slam our decks down, bro. It's crazy. Alright, let's see. 2 VMAXs, 2 Snorlax, Welder, but no fire energies. Unfortunate, but it's fine. He still can find Giant Hearth and what's it called? Fire Flint. So getting the fire energy shouldn't be that difficult. Not to mention he has access to trade, which I would quick ball to get another Cinccino down, but he chooses not to. Not really sure why. What is he saving that quick ball for? Oh, I guess for a Dedenne, because he doesn't have the fire energies in hand right now. And you're pretty set to like discard a bunch of Welders as long as you use 1 or 2 in the game. You should be fine. So I guess he's saving that quick ball for Dedenne. I don't remember. Did he have a? He didn't have. Oh, he does have an Evo Incense in hand. Well, then again, the Evo Incense would only get him 1 Cinccino. He has. Does he have? No, that's a Flare Welder. I was about to say. Does he have 1 fire energy? Because even if he accelerates only 1 fire energy, he's still fine. I don't know. I think the Denne's a fine play though. Don't get me wrong. Let's see. We are going though. We're getting that VMAX so he doesn't take an Oko, even though we won't be able to attack this turn. It's better than getting Oko'd because he totally can if he gets all the right cards, which is super easy in this deck. So there's the VMAX. I would like a Snom, so hopefully, I know we had a research in hand, so hopefully we just use that research, find ourselves a Snom, and go from there. Ideally a second Lapras would be down too, so I can evolve into the Gigantamax quicker. We have the Clay. Clay is probably better here, because we get to keep the research in hand. We are losing a Malolana. We don't really need the Mew or the energies, but let me discard that Malolana. Yeah, there we go. Did we get Quick Ball though? We did get Quick Ball, so we should be okay there. I think we can use Jirachi. Yeah, we have the Quick Ball. Let's use the Quick Ball first. Get rid of that weak card. Completely worthless in this matchup, but still a pretty good card. We are going to be playing Pikarom here soon. By the way, guys, we have uploaded 4 different decks so far, right? Or was it 6? I don't remember. We played Lapras, we played Snorlax, we played Zacian, Obstagoon, Morpeko, and Blacephalon. And obviously, decks like Blacephalon and Pikarom, which is really good right now, just with the addition of Coco V. It's a really strong deck. decks like Pikarom, I'm probably not going to do deck profile of Pikarom whenever we play it because there's very few changes that need to be said. So I'll probably just link the deck that we use because we're probably going to use the one that did really well in Japan. So probably going to do that as well as Pikarom. I don't know if we have any plans for updated Mewtwo right now, but like we have those 7 decks, right? We have them. I still have them all built, and I'm going to be taking them apart all very soon. So if there's any particular matchups you guys want to see us do, let me know. We are going to be recreating the finals, which is going to be kind of fun. We're going to be doing Pikarom versus Lucario, Melmetal plus Zacian. So that'll be a matchup that's going to be fun to play. So be on the lookout for that. But if there's any decks in particular you guys want to see us match up against, we will be recording them. Up to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. We did just record, I think it was Obstagoon versus Morpeko because somebody said they wanted to see that matchup, so we did record it. So be on the lookout for that as well. You know, I'm not really sure how I feel about Heat Factory in this deck, but it's just a good card, right? Like, once again, you want to draw as much as possible so you can get your early game setup going really well. I still think you want to do... Quick Ball for that Cinccino. He's gonna draw instead. Did he already Cinccino this turn? It doesn't matter. It's hard for me to keep track while watching my own videos. Isn't that crazy? It's because I'm talking all at the same time. He took a knockout here. We got the Evo Incense, so that gets us a Frostmoth immediately, which is pretty good. So now it's all about reaching for the KO. Can we get the Oko? If we get the Oko here, that's going to put us in a really strong position. He won't be able to 2-hit KO the Lapras in return, and we can just ideally 2-hit KO him or Oko him. Actually, if we get the Oko right now, then he can't do much at all, can he? He can Gust me and try to keep my Frostmoth active, which is a pretty good play, but we do play heavy switches and 2 Malalanas as well. So being stuck in the active isn't a thing that happens too often in this deck. But if I can get that Oko, it looks like I wasn't able to get it since I attached the other Lapras, so we're just going to shoot for the 2-hit KO instead. But man, imagine if we got the Oko there. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we need those 2 Denes in this deck. 2 Denes is really big. But let's see. We hit for the 180. If he does play Malamana, we're not in a good position for sure, but we can always heal. Cinccino again. 1, 2. Misa Sim doesn't do anything right now, obviously. He's taken 1 prize, so let's see. Another Snorlax. I don't really think he wants to play it, right? You just want to save that bench space for all your other things. You only want 2 Snorlaxes down at a time. We are playing 4 Snorlaxes in this deck. Once again, we want to cut Pokemon, but we also want to make sure we have Pokemon to fill up our bench throughout the game. So we're still pretty... Oh, there's a draw. Okay, there we go. So I'm still, like, we still are building this deck for sure. We want, like, the first thing we want to do to play, like, the other cards we want to play is cut Pokemon. We only need to put in, like, a few more cards, though. One card, excuse me, one card I really want to try in here is Triple Energy. Triple Energy works with the Snorlax, and it kind of, like, alleviates the need for Welder a lot of the time. Like, you can miss Welder for a turn and just kind of, like, in case you just, like, oh, I can't Welder and I won't be able to attack, but I really want to draw a bunch of cards. You can just play the research to try to dig for the Triple Energy instead, so that alleviates the need to use Welder every single turn. And also means you can still put pressure on the board in case you whiff the Welder. But at the same time, he's only hitting for 180 because he has 4 Pokemon down. 180 is still 2-hit KO for him, though. At the same time, I'm still up in the air about it. We want to cut out some things to play 2 Muscle Pads and 2 Triple Energies. That's our goal right now. But we'll see how that works out. So we can get the 2-hit KO here. We can actually, if we find a switch, we can attack with a healthier Lapras VMAX. But we need to find the Lapras VMAX plus the switch. So let's see if we find it. That would be ideal, though, for sure. Come on, Mr. Orbomb, what did you do? I need to know what you did, Mr. Orbomb. Please tell me. We're just gonna go ahead and take a knockout here. So it looks like we whiffed all the things I mentioned earlier. So here we're just gonna take our 3 prizes. He can reset stamp me, which is annoying. He has it in hand, but we have another Lapras pretty much set up. We don't have the VMAX yet though, so it's kind of worrisome. There's a stamp, bringing us right back down to 3, and he's gonna take a knockout here. All he needs is an energy, which is easy enough for him to do. And at that point, we need to reach for an Oko if we're gonna win the game. So off a 3-card hand, we really need to dig for this Oko. We haven't used our Dedenne yet, so digging shouldn't be that bad. But we'll see. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Show me the way. Let's see, draw 2 more cards. Another Cinccino. There's a fire energy he needed without having to use fire crystal. Generally saving your fire crystals is a good idea so you can use them, so you can use your Ninetales a few more times. There's another Cinccino, I think that's fine. Marshadow. I don't think I play any stadiums in this deck. I really want to. Like I said, there's a lot of cards in Lapras I want to play. Stadiums for sure, custom catchers for sure, and an extra reset stamp for sure. Those are the 3 things that come to mind, and also the second to the name, which I already put in. But that's a lot of cards, right? There's a lot of cards in very little space because you still need to play a very high amount of water energies. He's just going for the straight up Oko. This is a huge play for him, right? This is a really good play for him because now I just lose if I can't take the Oko this turn. He put himself down 1 extra turn. So John, kudos for you for the good play. That was a really smart play. But now I just have to get 6 more energies on this bench one to take a knockout. We still have access to Dene. Let's see. Was there anything else in that? I guess there wasn't. And 1 energy retrieval is not bad for sure. We still have access to Dene, and we have access to a. We already played Clay, so Clay is our draw support for the turn, which is unfortunate. But we need 6 more energies. We have access to 1 energy retrieval, so we only need 4 more energies now. If we can draw a few of them, as well as get another energy retrieval or 2, or just get 2 energy retrievals, that'd be pretty good. Looks like I don't have the Dene though. Okay, let's see if we can find Quick Ball off this. We did find Quick Ball. So the Dene it is. When there's a Dene, there's a way though, that's for sure. I was thinking about maybe attacking with Keldio's GX attack, but it doesn't do enough. It only does 250. And it still gives up 2 prizes. He's only 2 prizes short, I believe. There's the Dene. Alright, let's see if we got it. Looking through the deck, seeing what we have left. Excuse me. I'm thinking about playing a switch, but I don't think there's anything to switch to. So we have 2 energies there. 1 energy retrieval, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are just 1 energy retrieval short, 2 energy short from taking a knockout. And there's energies in the deck. Now here is actually a really crazy important turn, right? I remember this game. I have a fishing rod in hand, and I have 3 energies in the deck. Or I have 3 energies in the discard pile. I really need to debate how many energies I want to shuffle back in. Or if I want to shuffle back in any at all. No, there's only 2 in the discard pile, that's right. I choose to not shuffle any back in because I want to draw energy retrieval because that's the easiest way for me to win the game. But I unfortunately whiffed the energy retrieval. We only drew 1 energy. We were 1 energy short from winning this game. So it made me think, was it a better idea to shuffle back in the energies? I don't remember how big the deck is, so statistically speaking, I felt like I had a really high chance of drawing one of the energy retrievals, because I remember I had, I believe, 2 or 3 left, as opposed to drawing 2 energies in that hand. So it's really up in the air about, you know, how close I was. I figured I'm just going to attack here because I know he has the thing in hand. 1 energy short. Can you guys believe that? Just like I mentioned in I think the first game, 1 energy makes a difference. It really does. We are going to hit him for just 30 damage short from taking a knockout. And he's going to go ahead. He showed it to me because we were talking throughout the game. So that's what I'm talking about though. Lapras, second to Dene, is probably pretty big, so we can reach for those things more often. And that last play, I'm still up in the air about whether I wanted to... I wish I could count the cards. Like, I don't have the time to physically look down and count every card that I played while playing the game, right? But I wish I could count the cards, remember my prizes and stuff like that to figure out if it was my best play to shuffle the cards back in using the energy retrieval or using the good rod, or if it was the best play to just look for the energy retrieval and just, you know, whiffing. We'll see. Well, I mean, we'll never know, but it was still a good game for sure. A really good series of games. We are going to update the decks for sure so that we have another series with this matchup. I know that one matchup I heard you guys wanted to see was Zacian ADP versus Lapras. So I might do that. We'll have to see if I can continue building it. I do want to try out the clay version of ADP, so I will be building that, and maybe I'll test that versus Lapras. We'll see. But the next few decks, if you guys like the video, don't forget to, by the way, but if you guys do like the video, we will be uploading the deck profiles here very shortly on the channel. So don't forget to support if you haven't already. Subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Hope you had a Merry Christmas.